ultra-rare and valuable Australia Elizabeth 2-cent old coin. Today, we're diving deep into the story of an ultra-rare coin that has caught the attention of collectors and historians across the globe. First up, the Australia Elizabeth II 2-cent coin from 1971, with no mint mark. A small piece of copper that carries a large legacy. This isn't just any ordinary coin. This 2-cent piece, minted during the early 70s, is part of Australia's proud numismatic journey. At a glance, it might seem simple, but the value it holds today is anything but. From its design to its backstory, this coin is a sleeping giant in the world of collectors. The coin features a regal portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse side, designed by Arnold Machin, an iconic image used across many Commonwealth nations. On the reverse, you'll find the frill-necked lizard, an emblematic representation of Australia's unique wildlife, masterfully sculpted by Stuart Devlin, the official goldsmith and jeweler to the Queen. But what makes the 1971 version stand out so drastically? It's the mysterious absence of a mint mark. Most Australian coins bear a small letter that indicates where they were struck, like Sydney, Melbourne, or Perth. However, this specific 2-cent coin from 1971 does not have any mint mark at all, which is incredibly rare. Coins without mint marks are either the result of intentional releases for circulation or accidental production anomalies. In this case, it's believed that a limited batch of these 2-cent coins were struck without a mint mark due to transitional dies or administrative oversights. And that's what turns an ordinary coin into an extraordinary treasure. As the years passed, most of these coins slipped into circulation unnoticed. They changed hands, bought candies, rode in pockets, and were tossed into drawers. Only a few keen-eyed collectors or lucky individuals have realized that what they held wasn't just a coin, it was a hidden gem. So why is it valuable? Because rarity fuels desire. There are millions of regular 2-cent coins, but coins like this, without mint marks, from 1971, are incredibly hard to come by in pristine condition. The numismatic world thrives on anomalies, and this coin is a shining example of how something seemingly minor can skyrocket in importance. Now, you may be wondering, how much can this coin actually be worth? Depending on its condition, especially if it is uncirculated or in brilliant mint state, collectors have been known to pay anywhere between $4,000 to $5,000 or even more in private auctions. That's right, a simple 2-cent coin, now turning heads with its extraordinary value. And what's even more exciting is the growing interest in rare coins online. Collectors from the United States, United Kingdom, Canada, and beyond are hunting for Australian rarities. This increased demand is driving prices higher than ever before, and now is the perfect time to see if you've got one hiding in your change jar or family keepsakes. Let's not forget the emotional and historical value this coin carries. Imagine holding a piece of 1971, when the world was changing, when Australia was modernizing its coinage, and when something so simple as a missing mint mark created one of the greatest numismatic surprises. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not just about money, it's about legacy. It's about owning a piece of history, a forgotten treasure rediscovered. Coins like these are testaments to how attention to detail, patience, and a little bit of luck can reward you beyond measure. So, if you're watching this and thinking, could I possibly have one? Don't wait. Check your old coin collections, raid your drawers, visit flea markets. These treasures don't come knocking twice. Even if you're not a collector, this could be your golden, or rather copper, opportunity. And if you're lucky enough to find one, remember, take care of it, get it professionally graded, and hold on to it like the precious relic it truly is. Because coins like these are not just old, they're ultra-rare, incredibly valuable, and deeply meaningful. Before we close, let me remind you, the next great discovery could be sitting quietly in your home, waiting for someone with the curiosity to look and the wisdom to recognize it. Don't miss your chance to turn a coin into a legacy. Next up, the Australia Elizabeth II 2-cent coin from 1976, with no mint mark. This small, copper coin is more than just metal. It's a time capsule, a mystery, and for some, a golden opportunity waiting to be discovered. The 1976 2-cent coin is a fascinating piece of numismatic art. Issued during a pivotal time in Australia's currency evolution, this coin carries the elegant image of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse, crafted by the renowned British sculptor Arnold Machin. It's a calm, regal profile that symbolizes continuity, strength, and the deep Commonwealth connection shared by many nations. Flip it over, and you're greeted by one of the most iconic representations of Australian wildlife, the frilled neck lizard, captured in stunning detail by master designer Stuart Devlin. With its crown-like frill flared out in defense, this reptile doesn't just decorate the coin, it tells a story of Australia's untamed beauty and character. But here's where things get truly exciting. Unlike many other coins, the 1976 2-cent piece was struck without a mint mark. For most collectors, that detail might sound minor. But in the world of rare coins, a missing mint mark can mean everything. It transforms an already vintage coin into a piece of history that defies the norm. A coin without a mint mark suggests that it wasn't struck at one of the usual Australian mints, or that a transitional error occurred during production. Either way, it results in a numismatic anomaly that makes this coin both desirable and difficult to find. The scarcity adds fuel to the fire of collector demand, and this is exactly what propels its value far above that of a standard coin. So what about the 1976 edition? Is it just old, or is it a true gem? Let's be clear, it's a gem. Not only is this coin almost 50 years old, but it also comes from a time when Australia's coinage system was transitioning, both in production style and distribution. The lack of a mint mark adds a layer of mystique, suggesting limited issuance or an overlooked variety that is now catching attention in collector circles worldwide. Currently, the value of this coin can vary depending on its condition. A well-preserved 1976 2-cent coin with no mint mark in uncirculated or near-uncirculated condition has been seen listed by serious collectors and dealers at prices ranging between $2,000 and $6,000. But that's only today's market, and we're just getting started. The real question is, can it become more valuable in the future? Absolutely yes. As more and more collectors turn their attention to mid-20th century coins, especially those with unique minting anomalies, the value of pieces like the 1976 no mint mark 2-cent coin is expected to climb. Experts believe its price could easily reach $5,000 to $7,000 or more in premium condition as scarcity increases and awareness grows. This isn't speculation. We've seen the market prove time and time again that the rarest and most overlooked coins can explode in value seemingly overnight. All it takes is the right buyer, the right auction, and the right moment. The 1976 2-cent coin checks every box: age, uniqueness, historic design, and mystery. Let's also consider how global coin collecting is booming like never before. Platforms, forums, and auction houses are constantly scanning for hidden gems, and Australian coins are gaining serious momentum. If you're holding on to a 1976 no mint mark coin, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Even a modestly worn example could still draw significant attention from international collectors. What makes this coin truly exciting is the accessibility. This isn't locked away in a museum or in the hands of elite investors. It could be in your home, in your pocket, in a family collection passed down without knowing its real value. And that's what makes this journey magical, the idea that you could discover wealth in the most unexpected place. Imagine holding a coin from 1976 that has passed through decades, weathered time, and now sits in your hand with the potential to bring not just profit but a piece of legacy. That's what collecting is about. It's about uncovering the forgotten stories and bringing them into the light. This isn't just a coin, it's an invitation. An invitation to explore, to research, to connect with a global community of enthusiasts who recognize the thrill of discovery. It's a reminder that even the smallest things can carry the greatest value, both in history and in worth. So if you have an old stash of coins, now is the time to search. Look closely. Examine every detail. That 2-cent coin you've overlooked for years could be the next great find. And if you don't have one yet, now's the time to start your hunt. Markets are heating up, and collectors are always watching for the next rare entry to add to their prized sets. Ladies and gentlemen, the 1976 Australia Elizabeth II 2-cent coin with no mint mark is not just rare, it's valuable, powerful, and full of potential. Its story is still being written, and you could be the next chapter. Whether you're a passionate collector or a curious newcomer, this coin is a symbol of how treasure is never truly lost, only waiting to be found. Next up, the ultra-rare and valuable Elizabeth II 2-cent coin from the year 1978 with no mint mark. This coin may seem modest in size, but make no mistake, it's stirring up interest in collector circles around the world, and the value it holds is rising faster than many ever expected. The 2-cent coin is a piece of Australia's decimal currency history. Introduced in 1966, it quickly became a part of everyday life, rattling in pockets and resting in coin jars. By 1978, it had already developed a reputation for its beautiful design and unique Australian character. But the version from that particular year, without a mint mark, is far from ordinary. It is a hidden gem, a potential jackpot for those lucky enough to find it. Crafted in 1978, this coin carries the elegant effigy of Queen Elizabeth II on its obverse, designed by British sculptor Arnold Machin. It's more than a portrait, it's a symbol of Commonwealth unity and national pride. On the reverse, the frilled neck lizard makes its bold appearance, brought to life by Stuart Devlin, the royal goldsmith to the Queen. His design turns a humble reptile into a national icon. But what makes the 1978 no mint mark coin truly stand out is the mystery and rarity of its creation. In most cases, coins bear a mint mark that indicates where they were struck: Sydney, Melbourne, or Perth. However, this particular coin lacks such a mark, making it incredibly rare. Whether due to production transitions, special batches, or unexplained anomalies, this absence turns it into a collector's dream. There is no definitive number on how many of these coins were produced without the mint mark in 1978, but the limited sightings and rising interest suggest it was a very small fraction of the year's mintage. And as time passes, coins like these disappear from circulation or remain buried in private collections, reducing their availability and raising their market appeal dramatically. Right now, collectors across Australia, the United States, Canada, and Europe are actively seeking rare decimal coins, and this one is gaining attention rapidly. On online marketplaces and numismatic forums, people are asking, offering, and even bidding for this coin, especially when it's in excellent condition. The number of people who want to buy it is increasing, and that interest alone is a sign of its value. So what is the current value of the 1978 2-cent no mint mark coin? In circulated condition, it could fetch between $1,500 to $6,000, depending on the clarity of its details and the state of the surfaces. But if you are holding an uncirculated or proof-like example, the value rises significantly. Premium collectors have already paid up to $15,000 or more for mint state versions in private deals and auctions. And the story doesn't end there. As demand grows and the number of known pieces remains small, experts believe this coin could easily command a price of $3,000 to $5,000 in future markets. As with all rare coins, value is a combination of rarity, condition, and demand, and this coin scores high on every one of those scales. The 2-cent coin from 1978 was struck as part of Australia's ongoing decimal series, which aimed to modernize the currency system and make transactions easier for everyday Australians. But within that common goal, rare variations emerged, intended or not, and the no mint mark coin is one of the few that rose above the rest in uniqueness. What makes this coin so special is not only its scarcity but also the fact that most people overlook it. It hides in plain sight, often mistaken for just another old coin, while in truth, it holds the kind of historical and financial potential that could change someone's life. That's what makes it exciting. It's treasure disguised as pocket change. It's important to understand that coins like this are time-sensitive opportunities. With each passing year, fewer well-preserved examples survive, and more collectors enter the market. That imbalance between supply and demand creates the perfect storm for rising prices. If you have one, or think you might, it's time to get it professionally evaluated and carefully preserved. There's something thrilling about knowing that wealth doesn't always come from banks, gold, or real estate. Sometimes, it's a coin tucked away in a drawer, forgotten for decades. The 1978 No Mint Mark 2-cent coin is a perfect example of how history rewards patience, observation, and curiosity. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that was once worth only 2 cents and now could be worth thousands. That's the kind of story that inspires people to explore, to dig, to investigate old jars, family collections, and childhood piggy banks. That's the magic of numismatics. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is not just about a piece of copper. This is about value in the unexpected. The 1978 No Mint Mark 2-cent coin is valuable now and will only become more valuable as time moves forward. It's a coin with a future, a coin with a story, and most importantly, it might just be the coin in your possession right now. Thank you for joining us on this exciting journey. If you're inspired to check your coins or share your own discoveries, let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with others who might be sitting on their own piece of numismatic gold. Until next time, keep searching because treasure is often found where you least expect it.